Alright, everyone, welcome back to my channel. Angle it down just a little bit. There we go. Okay, should be better. Alright, so today what I have for you guys is the story about why I am gluten-free, what prompted me to go gluten-free, and how I've been able to remain gluten-free with only breaking my diet a couple of times. We don't necessarily need to talk about those. Alright, so our story begins when I was 14 years old. I had developed a condition called achalasia. For those of you who don't know what achalasia is, it is a condition that impairs your esophagus. So my achalasia sucks is because when you go to eat something and eating gets very slow and honestly quite painful at times. I don't know about you guys, but I don't like experiencing pain when I eat, especially when I'm eating my favorite foods. My swallowing got so bad that for 2 weeks straight in about 2014, 2015, food was remaining trapped in my esophagus for a number of hours at a time, and for 2 weeks straight, I would wake up in the middle of the night, right around the same time every single day as well, and I would start coughing. Well, it turns out that I was aspirating all that food into my lungs, and that did lead to a hospital stay of about 7 to 10 days, roughly. So many IVs. I don't want to do that again. Fortunately, I was already seeking seeing a doctor for my condition, and after my hospital stay and after I completed all the medications, and after a little bit of lobbying with the hospital that was going to be performing the operation, we were finally able to get me scheduled for a dilation. For those of you who don't know, one of the popular treatments for my condition is to send a balloon down the patient's throat and blow it up, and that does help with the achalasia. It most certainly helped me for a little bit, but those couple months of pain-free eating were glorious. But they were short-lived. A few months after the first dilation, my swallowing issues returned. So we did a second dilation, and it was helpful, but not as, not as helpful as the first one. The first one I got a good couple of months of pain-free eating, and whereas the second one gave me about maybe a month and a half at the very maximum. Dilations tend to get less and less successful the more you do. From what I've heard, I'm not a doctor, so feel free to correct me, please. January of 2016 came around, and my condition had not improved at all. So in February, at my next visit to the GM, so at the next visit with my GI doctor, he told me, "Hey Mark, I'm putting you on a gluten-free diet." Boy, did my heart sink when he said those words. Most of everything I was most of everything that I was eating up until that point was glutinous, so I thought I was going to starve. After my visit, me and my mom, who by the way has been by and far the largest just support figure on my journey with my gluten-free diet, and decided to go gluten-free with me. She says it was for support, but I think she wanted to eliminate gluten from her diet as well. Anyways, we stopped at the grocery store to pick up some gluten-free food items that we could eat. I was so livid with my new nutrition plan at that point. I was screaming in the grocery store. Yes, I was acting like a little brat then, but I was 16 years old. So, not excusing my behavior, but I've learned. I've matured. I don't know why I was making such a big deal about getting the gluten-free Oreos instead of the regular ones. Which, by the way, the gluten-free Oreos are actually pretty good. It took me a while to realize that many of my favorite food items were naturally gluten-free. So things such as peanut butter, some brands of granola bars, popcorn, and many Mexican dishes, mostly tacos. Oh my gosh, tacos with a soft corn shell. Hardly a better food than that. Let me just say. Right around then was when I noticed a dramatic change in my overall health, simply from eliminating gluten from my diet. Minus the pain from swallowing, I never realized just how horrible I felt up until I got rid of all that crap from my food, from my diet. Since going gluten-free, I've eliminated many food items that were once a staple in my diet. Things such as donuts, muffins, and many bread products. And for the record, I did replace them with much healthier options that are much more satiating. And I gotta be honest, I have never felt any better in my life. Simply from changing up what I consume. I remember a few months after starting my nutrition plan, my father, other, my father pitched a question to me. So if a doctor told me that it was safe for me to eat gluten again, would I? Well, my answer then was no, and my answer today is still no. Okay, I would not ever go back to the way I was before. I've never ever felt any better in my life, and actually I am kind of looking back, but I'm not looking back very fondly on my choices. Wait. Going gluten-free most certainly did present some challenges. Yes, changing a nutrition plan is hard. I still would not have my diet any other way than I do now. Going gluten-free has significantly challenged me to eat healthier. And I am very, very glad that I took the challenge. Because it feels so much better. I cannot emphasize that enough. I do have to say, I'm not only am I glad that I started going gluten-free, or rather that I was told to make the change, but I'm actually quite proud of myself that I was able to, that I've been in it. I'm quite proud of myself that I stuck to being gluten-free as much as I have over the past 5 years with very minimal setbacks. For the record, have you ever go out on a date with me and we decide to go to a restaurant? But I will research what has gluten-free options, and I will come up with a list with whatever sounds good. Alright, that's going to conclude today's video. I hope you all hope you all enjoyed it. And if you are someone who was just prescribed a new nutrition plan and you're struggling with it, I hope this video gives you a boost of encouragement. You can do it. It's going to be hard at first, but you can do it. Just hang in there. Alright, bye guys.